Hi team. Today we will discuss about Gatling reports. We will see what are the various you can say various components in Gatling report, and we will understand analytics and that report, like what are the you can say calculations, different calculations, and like there are two types of report generated by Gatling. One is one report is you can say summary report which you can find in console logs, and another is HTML report, which is you can say is a kind of pictorial representation of your report. If you have to share this particular report with your stakeholders or something, right? Then you can show this HTML report. So let me show you. If you guys remember, in last day session we have covered following topics like you can say install Java, Scala, and Maven. And after that, we have added some dependencies to form.xml. First, we get rather you can say Java project in IntelliJ IDEA, and we added following Gatling dependencies, Gatling board, pie charts. These are you can say form dependencies or Maven dependencies, and we also added the Gatling plugin to our form.xml file, right? And we used this command to run a simulation file, Maven Gatling test. Okay. So guys, let me show you how you will get the report. So this is our simulation file, which we have you can say created yesterday. In this simulation file, we are having just simple HTTP protocol, and we are having one HTTP request. Uh, and in this particular simulation file, we are injecting this number of users for 20 seconds. So you can see here constant user per second. It will be injecting 10 virtual users at each second for 20 seconds. Okay. So in total, it will be sending 200 requests to this particular endpoint. Cool. So now you guys remember that we have used this command to run Gatling simulation. So let me run this command. When you run this command, it will run your simulation. Once your simulation is done, it will generate report for you. Okay. So there are two ways to see the reports. Like one is console logs. You can see here. Like once, let's wait for this completion. It will take few seconds. You can see the current status, like how many. It's waiting 50 means it's waiting for response. Okay. See here, like total request count is 200, and minimum response time is 668 milliseconds, and max response time is 2681 milliseconds, and average response time for all the requests is 753 milliseconds. Cool. And these are the percentile response times. So, and this is mean RPS rate, like what is your RPS per second, right? Request per second. So this RPS is calculated by Gatling only. So it's saying currently your RPS rate is 9.09 average, and this is your response time distribution. Uh, so like in this particular response time distribution, you can see that 183 API request got a response within 800 milliseconds. Okay, so for 183 API request, response time is less than 800 milliseconds, and for six requests, response time is between 800 milliseconds to one you can say 1200 milliseconds. So, and we have 11 API requests, and for which we got a response, and response time was more than 1200 milliseconds. So this execution failed, this job failed because we have put one assertion here. So we will be covering one assertion session in the next session, how to put assertions in your Gatling simulation. And you can see there, I can show you simulation file. In our simulation file, we have put one assertion here. Okay, assertion means like in TestNG, we used to use assert dot assert equals, right? Uh, Similarly, in this simulation file, once our whole simulation is executed and we got the results from server, these assertions are performed. These assertions are just like if this assertion got passed, your Gatling load test will be marked as a passed. Okay, and if any of the assertion fails, then your test case, you can say your Gatling simulation will be marked as failed. Okay. Now you can see here what this assertion says is global response time, mean time. Okay. Average response time should be less than 500 milliseconds. So if you guys have idea about what is SLO, service level objectives, in SLOs we define that like our service mean response time should be less than 300 milliseconds or 500 milliseconds or less than 50 milliseconds like that. Okay. Every service has different SLOs. So in this particular example, we are saying that our response time, mean response time should be less than 500 milliseconds. And what is the actual mean response time that we are getting? So our actual mean response time is 753 milliseconds. So it will fail our Gatling simulation job. See here is saying mean of response time is less than 500 milliseconds. This is the expected result and this is actual result. So actual mean response time is 753 milliseconds. So that's why saying your job got fail here. Cool. Now this is, you can say this report is this summary is generated in console logs. It will give you better idea like if you want to see from console logs. But if you want to see some like HTML report, like a test engine report, LU report, Gatling also generates one HTML report. You can see here, this is the link to your HTML report, and you can click on this particular link and open HTML report. And if you want to see detailed folder, like once you run your Gatling simulation, it will create one, you can say report folder in your target directory. Go to target directory. There's one folder, Gatling. Okay. In Gatling, there's one class last_run.txt. In last_run.txt, you can find the path of your folder name, which was executed last. Okay. So you can see here, you can just check last four digits of this particular name, 4788. So this is your last execution results. Okay. So here is one index.html file. You can directly, either you can launch this index.html file from here, like click on right click here and click on open, click on browser, click on Chrome, right? Or you can directly click this link. It will open index.html file here. Let me open this file. See, this is you can say like good view for your Gatling results. Like okay, so now you can see here we have sent total 200 requests. So there are the multiple components here. If you see on the left side, range means response time range, like how many requests got a response in less than 800 milliseconds, and number of requests count, like for which response time was greater than 800 milliseconds and less than 1200 milliseconds. Similarly, like number of request count for which response time was greater than 1200 milliseconds. And failed means like if we are hitting some HTTP API and we are not getting right response code. Okay, let's go. We are getting 404 or some like any 400 bad request like that. So all requests will be listed here. So now in this particular example, we are hitting 200 requests and all got passed. Like for all the requests, we got 200 response code. We are not we are able to get the response back, right? Now the thing is response time. So if you see here, just click on range. It will show you response time distribution for all the requests. Like 183 request got a response time less than 800 milliseconds, and 6 request response time is in this window, and 11 request count response time is greater than 1200 milliseconds. Cool. This is you can say pie chart for that. Like we had 200 requests and we got okay for all. Okay. And yeah, and so if you want to see other components, just click on steps. It will show you tabular form, like how many requests you have hit. Total count is 200, and here OK means you got the success for your API request, and KO means fail. In load testing, OK means you got the request success for your API request, and KO means your request got failed. Okay, we don't say pass or fail. This is like terminology which is used in load testing. OK means your request got passed, and KO means your request got failed. Right? So this is stats. Now, if you want to see active users, so in last session we have discussed that uh, in load testing or performance testing, right? We simulate virtual users. If we are using some application, let's suppose Facebook.com. In Facebook, we can have a number of users at a time. Those are physical users, right? Which are sending traffic live. But in load testing and performance testing, we tried it to simulate the snap scenario using virtual users. So in this particular component, active user component, it will show you like at each second how many users were active. Okay, so you can see the count here. So these are the virtual users which were active in our simulation at a particular time, or you can say at each second. It will show you data for whole simulation time. Like if we are running our simulation for 10 minutes, it will show you data for 10 minutes. Cool. So this is active users. Uh, these are virtual users, okay, which are injected by Gatling. If you have seen this particular simulation file, so this is the way to inject users to a simulation. So here we are saying constant users per second. It will be injecting 10 users per second for 20 seconds. Cool. At each second, it will be injecting 10 users, 10 virtual users. Now, next component is request per second. This is you can say RPS rate, like at each second. So it's showing like at each second how many requests are actually getting sent. So if you can see here, all count is 10, users count is varying from 10 to 20. So what it means is at each second, okay, it's sending 10 API requests to server. Right? See here, at each second, request count is constant 10. Right? Similarly, in the end, your count will start dropping for just 1 or 2 milliseconds. Similarly, we have response per second, like how you can say, like at each second, how many response we are getting from a server. Let's suppose at a particular point, if we are sending 10 requests to server, and each second, how like at each second, how many requests we got. Like at 1 second, we got 9 responses, and on the next second, we are getting 9 response, and at the third second, we are getting 11 response from server, because server can take some time to respond, like server can do some processing like that. Good. So this is a response time distribution. These are the like 5 components. This is a global trail, but if you want to see the detailed report, just click on this detail. Now in our simulation file, we are having only one scenario here. Okay. But uh, in your simulation file, like if you are load testing your login service, if you're working in some company and you have one microservice login, right? And that login service, you can have multiple endpoints that we have discussed yesterday, like login by username, login by phone number, login by email ID, right? Now we have to load test all the endpoints. So you can create multiple scenarios here. So I can write my scenario 2. Okay, and I will be hitting the same endpoint. I will just change the name request to, or you can say this is some get request, or this is some post request. I'm just renaming it like, or another get request to. Now, like this scenario, I need to inject users for my scenario 2 as well. So you need to put comma here and write my scenario 2 dot inject open and constant user per second 10 during 20 seconds. Good. Now it will be sending 200 requests for this API and 200 requests for this API. In total, it will be sending 400 requests. And I can minimize it to 10 seconds to just get it fast. Okay. So let me clear it. Let me run the command again. It will trigger the simulation compilation error. We are getting some compilation error. There is some syntax error. Let me check. Okay, so we have some typo. Let me clear again. Run this command, getting test. Again, we have some scenario name must be unique. Okay, cool. So in our simulation file, ask this is the scenario name. Okay, it must be different. So we need to change scenario name as well. Click on terminal, click clear the console. Let's try again. Yeah, simulation started. Wait for results. So in this particular simulation file, we are sending 100 requests for this scenario and 100 requests for this scenario. So in total, it will be sending 200 requests. Okay, see, we got a request count 200, and let me just open this HTML report. So if you see global here, is total showing. We have total count is 200 and 100 API count for request 1 and 100 count for request 2. In this global page, it will show you accumulated results for both endpoints, okay? Like request 1 and request 2. But if you want to see uh, these parameters for individual endpoint, just click on details and click on this request 1. If you click on request 1, it will show you results for request 1. You can see here total count is 100 and the pass count is 100, okay? And data will be same just like global request, but it will be showing only for request 1. And similarly, if you want to see data for request 2, just click on request 2. It will show you data for request 2 only. See, the total count is 100. But if you click on global, it will show you accumulated report. You can see here 200 requests. Like it will be showing you results for both endpoints, total count, and it will be including response time for both endpoints. Okay, and based on both endpoints, it will be showing you these graphs like how many active users and response time, mean response time, average response time, right? Max response time, minimum response time. What if you want to see results for each endpoint? Let's suppose uh, in your microservice, one microservice is like really fast or other is down, right? Then we can have different results for both endpoints. And if you want to see in detail, you can just click on details option here and select the particular endpoint. And you can explore these reports. So guys, this is basic idea about Gatling reports. So if you want to see just overall details like RPS rate and user count and pass count, response time distribution. So this is HTML report generated by Gatling. But if you want to see real raw data, uh, you can see it from console as well. So this is your global information or summary of your simulation, Gatling simulation. So I suggest first you guys should learn to understand this particular simulation results. These are very informative. You don't need to see HTML report, but yeah, sometimes we need to share this report with our stakeholders, our managers, our product manager, the client as well. So HTML report is the best one. It's good to have like if you can take screenshot of this particular console logs and put it here. So guys, that's all about Gatling report. And yeah, see you in see you in next session. Yeah, thank you guys.